in this video, I will tell you a little bit about my experience of losing a mother to suicide and depression, and what I have done and what has helped me throughout the years. And first of all, I just want to mention something because I was debating about making this video. I wasn't sure if I should make a video about this or if I shouldn't, because I have no idea of how people might react to it, and I have no control over how people will react to this video because it is a sensitive topic that I will cover here. And I don't want people to think that I'm trying to raise attention by making a video like this, or that I'm seeking validation from someone, or and I also don't want people to think of me as a poor me. I don't need any of that. And I was debating a lot if I should make this video or if I shouldn't. But then I came to the conclusion that there are other people out there that are going through a similar thing as I am. And if I can help just one person with this video, then I have already made a positive impact in that person's life. So that's why I make the video. And again, it is a very sensitive topic, so if I say something that might trigger something, I don't want to trigger anything. I just want to share my experience and what I have done and what has helped me coping with losing a mother to suicide. So first of all, me and my sister were living with my mom, and she was working a lot. She had like 2 or 3 jobs, and she did the best she could to provide for us and to put food on the table and to do everything that she could so we could have a comfortable life. And she was a real powerhouse. She was amazing, and still to this day, I can't believe how much energy that woman had. But in a couple of years, she slowly started to slip into depression, and she actually tried to take her life a couple times, or a few times even. And one time I was alone. I was at home with her, and she asked me if I wanted to join her on a walk. And I said I couldn't because it was my last year of high school at the time. So I said I had to study. And as I said that, I felt that it would have been good for both of us. Like, it would have been good for her to go on a walk with me, and it would have been good for me to go on a walk with her. But then she said, it's all right. She can go on her own. And I felt a little bit of a relief. And after some time, I was curious because I didn't hear the door open or close. So I looked around the house and I looked into every single room and I couldn't find her. So I went back to studying, and then again, after some more time, I looked again in the attic, and that's where I found her. And in that moment, my whole world just started crumbling. It was like a glass window that just like shattered into billions of pieces. My whole world just got destroyed in a fraction of a second. And I still don't know to this day how I pulled through my last year of high school. I finished it and yeah, don't know. Somehow I ended up finishing it. But I slowly started to slip and to sink into a deeper hole. And I was surrounded by just darkness. What it felt like it was just darkness around me. And I don't know. I went to therapy for some time. I think it helped a little bit, but I can't really say if it really did help me a lot. I thought this would be easier to talk about, actually. Like I have talked with people about this topic, but recording a video right now is not the same. I don't know why. But anyways, carry on. Then I started to work um, for a year or half a year, I don't know. But somehow everything was too much for me, and I decided to start traveling, which is actually one thing that helped me a lot because I was able to get a lot of distance between the place where everything happened and, well, another place that I would say distracted me in a way, but it wasn't really distraction. And when I was traveling, I learned a lot of things that actually helped me with coping with this situation that I was in. I started to talk with a lot of people. Like I had this wall where I was just unable to talk with people about what happened because I felt so much unease within myself. And it was almost like I don't want to bother them with what's going on in my life because there's probably already going on a lot in their life. And I don't want to put even more weight onto them. So for the longest time, I didn't talk about this with many people. There were some people, some close people that I talked about it, but I couldn't simply talk about this with someone that I've met. And when I started to travel, I was maybe 20 years old at the time, and I would consider myself a shy person at that time. I slowly started to open myself up more and more. And I think one of the key things that I did was to allow myself to be vulnerable with myself. And I know vulnerability is also not an easy topic, especially for men, because from a young age on, we get taught that boys don't cry. And That's why men don't really talk about emotions at all. Maybe with some people, but they don't do it on a broad scale, which I believe is one of the most detrimental things that a man can do to his mental health and emotional health and well-being. Because he will just eat all those emotions inside of him to the point where he can't take it anymore, any longer. And most of the time, when he got to that point, it most of the time it well, it can be really hard to get out of that spot. But I took the courage to talk with people about what happened. I was really lucky to meet incredible people on my journey that have helped me and guided me along this path, along this journey, sometimes by simply just listening to me. They didn't even do something special. Sometimes they only listened, which with which I was able to heal something inside of me because someone took his time to simply listen to me. Another thing that I only realized in looking back how important it was to grieve. Grieving is by far the most important thing that I can advise anyone that has lost a parent or a loved one or someone that is important to them in their life. Grieve. Give yourself time and grieve. Grieving can look very different to different people. Maybe it is crying your eyes out. Maybe it is a creative thing. Maybe it's by drawing and or singing or dancing. But put that energy into a creative, well, that's a different thing. Grieving, vulnerability, and putting your energy into something creative where you put your energy out of you so you don't keep it inside of you. Maybe it's by drawing a picture, maybe it's by singing, dancing, moving your body. Do something creative with that stuck energy that you have inside of you. There are also a lot of mundane things that sound mundane but actually helped me a lot. It was eating clean, sleeping 8 hours a day, exercising, moving your body. If you can, you should sweat at least once a day. Listening to podcasts, reading books. I'm not gonna, this video is already like 15 minutes long. I'm not gonna go too much into detail because it is already pretty long. Maybe I make another video of this type of topic because I think if people watch this video for 15, 16 minutes, it's already a lot. But in short, I will give you some things that have helped me. Some things that I have already mentioned. Being vulnerable with yourself, allowing yourself to show vulnerability, because being vulnerable isn't weakness. It's not showing weakness. Being vulnerable is actually showing strength, because you show yourself that you care about yourself, that you are willing to show vulnerability in order to heal yourself. And with vulnerability comes a lot of healing. You can't imagine how much healing comes with vulnerability. Talk with people, talk with someone that you trust. Maybe it's a close friend or someone in your family that you trust and that you know that you can talk to. Or maybe you should do therapy. I know personally it didn't help me a lot, I'd say. But maybe you should try therapy. Move your body, exercise, try to sweat at least once a day. Put your energy into something creative. Maybe draw a picture, sing, dance. Grieve as much as you can. Give yourself time. I remember that for the longest time, I was wondering how long it would take me to get over the loss of my mom. Almost like there was a deadline to it, and I wanted to have it over, or like be over it in like 2 or 3 months. I thought that after 3 months, I should be over it, but that it doesn't work like that. I've figured out, or I've learned that it very much works in cycles. There will be days where it will be easier. There will be days that will be very painful. There will be other days where it will be easier again. But give yourself time with this process, because it takes time. And I don't really think that it will ever be over, that the healing process will ever be over. It is something that you learn to live with. The moment that my mom passed away, there was this hole inside of me, this big empty hole that I didn't know how to fill. It is by caring for yourself and loving yourself that you slowly start to fill this hole. Going into nature. Going into nature has helped me a lot. Being mindful, meditating has helped me. Meditation was a key component in developing a stronger and a better mental health and also emotional health. Right, it's 20 minutes long, this video. I think I'll wrap it up pretty soon, and maybe I make another video about this. I hope, even though it wasn't that easy for me to talk about this right now, I thought it would be easier, but it ended up not being that easy at all. Like, I had conversations with people where I could just talk for hours straight and I wouldn't freeze or choke up. But in this video, it happened a lot. Also, if you feel like you're unable to talk about this with anyone, that's okay. I was there too. I was in the exact same position that you are in right now. If you feel like you are unable to talk about this with anyone, then write it down. Write it on a piece of paper or journal it down. This is also a way to process things, which I do sometimes, or a lot of times. It has helped me also a lot of times. Sit down, grab your journal or piece of paper, and write down everything that you feel, think, or currently are going through. Because in the act of writing it down, you're also getting it out of your system, if that makes sense. You are processing your feelings in a different way than if you would simply think about them. If you write them down, you will be able to process them in a much better way. Right. Is there anything else? Go into nature, as I already said. It will, if you have the possibility, I know a lot of people might live in a city, then I will recommend to you to plan a weekend trip somewhere and go to a lake, to a beach, to a forest in the mountains, whatever. But go into nature. It will bring you a lot of peace of mind, and it will help you to process things. And I always found a lot of strength when I went into nature. I feel like nature has so many answers for you, but you need to be able to listen and observe what nature is trying to tell you. Right, okay. I will end this video today and here. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this video has helped you in some kind of way if you are currently going through a tough situation, or if you have lost a loved one in your life. I'm wishing you lots of strength. I'm sending you lots of love. I wish you the best. Try to implement some of the things that I said. Sometimes it's simple things like drinking water, sleeping, exercising, eating clean. If you do those 4 things, it will help you a lot, because I remember I was losing sleep at the beginning. I simply couldn't sleep, and it will be normal, but try to implement a good sleeping routine back into your life. This simple thing will be a game changer for you. Right. Lots of love, and I'll see you in the next video.